From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's Voice Briefing. It's Tuesday, December 23rd, 2025.
I'm John Carlisle with the Detroit Free Press. There's no stove and no oven at this restaurant. It has only one employee, so the wait for food is sometimes pretty long, yet there's often a line out the door to eat here. Dylan Larson owns the Rare Earth Goods and Cafe in Ishpeming, a former mining town in the Upper Peninsula. Ever since he was a toddler, he dreamed of owning his own restaurant. So when the owner of the little cafe where he interned as a cook announced that she was retiring, Dylan offered to buy it from her, even though he was only 18 years old, even though his life savings consisted of only a few $1,000s. She worked out a deal with him. The only thing is, with money tight, he's the cook, the waiter, the cashier, and the accountant all at once. It makes for some hectic days. His restaurant is thriving, though, because people in town want him to succeed despite all the challenges he faces. But those challenges were nothing compared to the biggest one he had to overcome.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Keith Matheny. Over the protests of neighbors who wanted the facility shut down, the state's environmental regulator, EGLE, approved an operating license renewal for a hazardous waste processing facility on Frederick Street in Detroit. U.S. Ecology Detroit South, owned by Arizona-based waste giant Republic Services, processes up to 1.8 million gallons of industrial waste per day, including sludges, solvents, oily residues, contaminated soils, and industrial debris that are often ignitable, corrosive, toxic, or reactive. The facility has received more than 40 violation notices from EGLE since 2014, including for a fire that broke out in one of the tanks where it was mixing hazardous waste, and for tanks that were leaking and potentially affecting groundwater. Nearby residents have complained for years about noxious odors emanating from U.S. Ecology Detroit South that never seem to get resolved. In its new permit, EGLE is requiring the facility to install new and improved storage tanks and to update its air control systems by the end of 2027. The regulator will also have the capability to require U.S. Ecology to scale back or halt its operations until violations are resolved.
Hey there, everybody. This is Omari Sanko for the second Pistons beat writer for the Detroit Free Press. On this week's episode of our podcast, The Pistons Post, Bryce Simon and I reviewed our preseason predictions and closed 2025 with a game of Sheet or Sham. Here's a quick snippet of our conversation.
Somebody that has been way beyond advertised, or at least what we predicted, is Jalen Duren. So Duren, we predicted 11.2 points per game, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2.5 stocks. He is averaging 18 points per game, 11 rebounds, a little under 2 assists, and less than 2 stocks. So he's a little less in his assists, a little less in his stocks, but obviously has taken a massive leap in terms of his scoring offensively.
So for that 2022 draft class, we basically just got wrong who would step up as like that secondary scorer. But it's been JD. I think you expect him to be better this season. I think it's tougher to predict just how much more autonomy he's had in the offense to kind of go get his own shot. And it's tough to predict just the leap as a ball handler he's made and just the comfort he's had there. So that was one of our worst predictions from like a points per game standpoint, to miss that by like 7 points. We were pretty close with the rebounds and a little bit under. I think we overshot the assists a little bit, maybe overshot the stocks a little bit. But yeah, like he's been the number 2 scorer. Credit to him, especially with J.I. being hurt for like the first 2/3 of this season. For Duren to be able to step in and do that, obviously is a big reason why they have the record they have now. He's really come in and proven that he can do more. You can hear that full conversation in this week's episode of The Pistons Post, which is available wherever you listen to podcasts. And as always, you can find our latest coverage on freep.com/sports.
Find more from the Detroit Free Press on freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thank you for listening, and you'll hear more from us tomorrow.